Welcome back, Touratech Rally 2024. Getting a special one-on-one test ride of the CF Moto Ibex 800. This is basically their version of the 790 Adventures. First thing you notice is it's quite a bit heavier feeling, honestly, and the weight is up higher because of where the fuel tank is. So it's a very different bike in terms of design. So thanks to CF Moto for the opportunity. I've been wanting to get on one of these for a while. So this is definitely a more streety adventure bike. So it's more of an adventure tour. And I don't say that like in a disparaging way. It's just clearly what it's designed for, because it doesn't have an off-road mode. It is definitely designed to crush miles on the road, but my suspicion is it's one of those street touring bikes that's also pretty good. Kind of like the Transalp, that's more capable than people give it credit for when they leave the pavement. So we're gonna go out and do some dirt and have ourselves a good time. So the windscreen is adjustable. I've adjusted it up because I want to have minimal wind noise for y'all on this trip. Ooh, are we going across the bridge? I hope so. I love this bridge. It's one of the coolest parts about riding and playing. We definitely are, because it's a dead end otherwise. Display, big difference immediately. You can tell from the 790. It's much bigger and it feels more modern, definitely fancier. Looks like I got plastic hand guards. I like the bar position a lot for riding. It's very comfortable for sitting down. And oh yeah, actually standing up on this they're exactly where my arms are. That's very comfortable. And this flare of the tank is in a good spot. So the seat feels very narrow, and yet it's designed so that you can stand up easily and comfortably, which is nice. This is a cool bridge that's only open to snowmobiles and motorcycles. It's a cool thing they have here in Plain. It's beautiful too, by the way. What a great shot. I really should have shot a thumbnail picture out here. It is just the two of us, so my hope is we'll be able to go maybe a little faster than the big groups are going, but we'll see, because we're probably going to catch up to one. Yeah, so it doesn't... The KTM has that real kind of box of rocks. I don't know, it feels unrefined, right? When it's just kind of idling, kind of shaky. This does, it feels very different. These bikes, they get dismissed as just like a clone of the 790, and I'm immediately noticing, and I just finished riding my 790, so this is a real apples to apples. It's not like some vague recollection. I'm doing this back to back, that it's a very different bike. In fact, if you didn't tell me that it's the same engine made in the same place, I don't know that I would have guessed that. It definitely, it's tuned differently, because I'm in sport mode, and it doesn't have the, it's less punchy than the 790 is what I'm noticing, and it sounds a little different. And obviously the fuel tank design is like the most glaring difference. It doesn't have the hanging down, if you'll forgive my crassness, scrotum looking gas tank. It's all up here on top, like a more traditional design. It's not just a 790 with CF Moto badging. It's a very different bike, and I think it's designed and targeting a different audience, and it's pretty comfortable. The seat's comfortable. Sitting down, I'm very comfortable. So in terms of a street tour, an adventure tourer, that will see gravel occasionally, but probably not anything crazy hardcore difficult, is my assumption. Yeah, it's very smooth. I wish the windscreen was a little taller, and I have it up all the way, I think, but it's nice that it's adjustable. And if I duck down, I'm good. All right, gravel it is. So there's no off-road mode. It doesn't have traction control. So, oh, it does have that KTM. Let's stick it out and go. Okay. Yeah, the standing position's very comfortable. Gotta hang back far enough to get out of the dust. So they put Motoz tires on here, so it's got some tractionators, which is good, because the street tires wouldn't be as fun. Yeah, we're doing a decent clip. I'm into it. ABS can't be turned up. So again, it's like, it's not a bike you're gonna ride as hard and fast as you can on. It's not really what it's for. But that's not to say it can't do. Ooh, yeah, there's a couple tight corners in here. Yeah. Oh, it's so nice to have the new tires. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. It is a marked difference. The KTM, like the off-road traction control, is so like intuitive that you sort of forget it exists, and then you come out and ride the exact same road on a bike without it, and it's like the ass is so much slidier. It's crazy how well it manages the power of that bike. Comfortable taking on some decent fast gravel and maybe, you know, some two-tracky stuff. We'll hit some potholes in a minute and get a sense of how the suspension does off-road. You know, this is an inexpensive bike. That's the point. It's like, the thing with these Chinese bikes is, you know, say what you will, I'm not here to debate the ethics of buying motorcycles manufactured in various places. I'm here to talk about motorcycles, but you get a lot of bike for your money if you buy one of these Chinese manufactured bikes. Like, you get stuff that would cost you quite a bit more if you bought it from a Japanese or European manufacturer. So there's a lot of bike here. If you want a really cozy tourer that has a lot of features for a much lower price than you'd pay for a BMW or something, and you're not going to do a bazillion miles, so maybe the reliability questions don't concern you as much. You're just going to do like your weekend warrior type stuff. And it's worth consideration, I think. Well, we're getting a lot of options, and that's a good thing. Very comfortable sitting down, I will say that. It is a very cozy road bike. Yeah, that's good. Suspension's stiff, actually. There's a real test. Okay. You might want to check the gravity up here in Washington. The front tire keeps coming off the ground weirdly. Yeah, that's like, I know there's no contrast on the camera when it's this dusty and it's just this gravel stuff, but that was a bunch of pretty deep kind of washout water bar stuff. I'm trying to take the worst lines I can find on purpose. It's that the suspension's stiff, so it doesn't feel soft. It honestly feels too harsh, which is, if I had to pick one on a bike I'm going to encounter some chunky terrain, I would rather have too stiff and make up the difference with my legs than too soft and just constantly be hurting myself and bouncing off the bump stops. It's like a little sand right here. Oh yeah. Real stable feeling. I like that. Nice power delivery, smooth, even predictable, you could say. But if you want to spin it, you can. But if you're just kind of riding normally, there's no surprises. It's not herky-jerky or effed up or whatever. So again, very smooth, very similar in character to the KTM motor, but I think just without that edge, without the punchy edge. Like the top has just been smoothed out. It's just mellowed out a little. It's not a mellow bike, it's just more mellow. Don't hear me saying it's mellow. It's got plenty of power. And I'm not really getting into the throttle. Yeah. The inability to turn the ABS off sucks off-road, just because you have so little braking power from the rear. It's like, oh, you're sliding, so it just spins. It's not a bike that you're going to be sliding around corners and stuff. Not what it's for. But if you want a comfortable road bike that is capable enough to tackle stuff like this reliably, comfortably, with confidence, it's a good little bike. Let's see, let's take some of these shitty bumps. That's all sand. Just eats it right up. Got some loose, oh, gravelly stuff. Yeah, got a little sideways there. Straighten right up. Yeah, and thanks to CF Moto for this one-on-one test, which is not like a special dork in the road thing. It was just I was the only one wanting to go off-road, so I got to go out with the guide by myself, so we're getting to do a decent pace, which is get a much better sense of a bike that way. Yeah, it's fun to ride. I like the engine. Yeah, okay, so stiff suspension. Yeah, you feel it sitting, but not too bad. Now, I did not know I was test riding this today, so I apologize again. This is not an in-depth review. I didn't do a bunch of research ahead of time. I don't know much about the electronics suite. I know it only has 2 modes because they told me. I know you can't turn the ABS off because they told me. I don't even know off the top of my head right now what the MSRP is, but I'll put that on the screen for you. But this is a test ride and first impressions, not a review. You only have 20 minutes with the bike. It's hard to review it. People that say they're reviewing it are full of shit. What can you know about a bike in 20 minutes? But it's an interesting counterpoint to the 790, and I think 100% the biggest delusion I was under about this bike was it's just a 790 with an Ibex badge on it. It's not. This is a different feeling bike. It really is. And it's for a different purpose. The 790 is like, we're going to get you as most off-road performance as possible for the best price. On-road is a secondary concern. So it's not uncomfortable, but it's less comfortable than this on the road. This thing, pretty capable in terms of basic off-roading, right? Gravel roading and all of that, and enough to get you through maybe if you encountered something a little tougher like a washout, or you had to get through, or maybe you got to go down a steep hillside to get around a tree. I don't know. I would take it on some more difficult stuff than this, but I wouldn't like seek that out on purpose. I'm honestly impressed. The suspension doesn't feel cheap. Motor's smooth. Electronics fit and finish. That's the other thing, is people get this impression about Chinese manufactured bikes that they're like all clunky and cheap feeling, and no, it doesn't really feel that different. And that's 100% subjective, but it does not feel that different than the similar offerings from KTM. It's fun. Definitely a fishtail machine, and there's good solid tires on this, and I'm fishtailing like crazy. I mean, on purpose. It's not like uncontrollable, but the point is, it's there if you want it. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, definitely the suspension is stiff. More stiff than it is. It's definitely too stiff more than too soft. And you got to keep in mind that I'm a much heavier rider than average, so I may be using up some of the stroke, some of the progressive shock, and that's why it feels stiffer to me. But my point is not that it feels stiff all the time. My point is that it's stiff enough to resist bottoming even when you're on some technical Yeah, it's smooth. It's a very smooth bike. It's a fun pleasure cruise. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Oh, there we go. We caught the demo group. That looks like Yamaha. Now that sounds like the KTM. Yeah, so all in all, sort of my first impression, the impression I will leave this test ride with is it's a lot more different than the 790 than I was expecting. Definitely feels like its own distinct motorcycle. It seems like a very comfortable road bike that has a good amount of capability off-road. It's honestly very Transalpy in that, like, nobody thinks the Transalp is like the most hardcore off-road bike, but people underestimate how off-roady it is. I think that's this bike. People are going to assume it's just for riding on the road. And if you want to do, 70-80% on the road, but 20% of the time you want to get off. It's not your stump jumper, but if you want to ride 1,000 miles and then hit a gravel road at the end, good bike for that. So, thanks again to CF Moto. Good opportunity to get out and ride this. And if you'd like to see more test rides, I've done a bunch here at Touratech, and I got more to come, of dual sport and adventure bikes. Please consider subscribing to the channel, because I'm the dork in the road and I want to be your internet riding buddy. And I'm better than your regular riding buddies because I come with a mute button. Also, if you enjoyed the video, got something out of it, there's a Papios! I would super appreciate it if you consider hitting that like button. That always helps. So anytime you smash the like button, it makes the video a little bit more... God, I said smash the like button. I feel like I've become the douchey YouTuber. If I did, well, maybe I always have been and I just realized it. Anyway, but if you hit the like button, makes the video more visible, really helps out. Super easy, so hit that button and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next one. But for now, and as always, I just want to say thank you very much for watching, and please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you. Excellent!